Hotep again. It's your brother Ra, coming back at you with another video. I'm doing this video on how to actually eat healthy and to be able to afford it. How can one afford to be able to eat healthy? So a lot of people out here, I understand, that are struggling, with the whole economic crisis thing, and I talk a lot about eating healthy, and I get a lot of emails of people saying, well, I can't really eat healthy because I can't really afford it. I don't know how to eat healthy. I don't know where to start, and things of this nature. So these are the things that I'm going to cover here first. Now, I know it's hard out there. And I realize that. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of money, and I definitely realize that. But I'll say this. I'm getting ready to do a video on capitalism, and I'm kind of leading up to it, because it's based on health. That's the reason why I'm going to do this video. Because when I do the video on capitalism, I have to address how people go outside of themselves for all of their solutions, which costs them money. And this is the same thing that goes for being able to afford to eat healthy and being able to afford to treat yourself if you have a disease and things of this nature, and how can you afford health care and all this type of stuff. What you got to realize is that if you have the knowledge of your body, if you have the knowledge of vegetables, if you have the knowledge of different herbs, if you have the knowledge of how to extract the best part from different herbs and different plants, if you have the knowledge of these things and begin to really study your organs in relationship to different herbs, because different herbs match up with certain organs. So if you started to study these things on your own, by getting a book that doesn't really cost a lot of money, you begin to study these things on your own and begin to study food, though, you'll be able to afford to eat healthy. The reason why I say that is because you won't waste your money. See, a lot of people, they say, I can't afford to eat healthy. But I want you to really take a look at what you're spending your money on, as far as even when you just deal with food. And it's other levels to this too, and I'll cover that in a minute. But let's just say food. You're saying you can't really afford to eat healthy, but think about how much you spend on junk food. Now, average person, they might go to McDonald's. You're going to spend about $4 to $5 for a burger, a couple burgers, some fries, and a soft drink. You're going to spend about $4 to $5. If you're eating like that, for the most part, 3 times a day, you're going to spend an average of $15 a day on food. And that's total junk food. Now, some people might say, well, I don't go to McDonald's. I eat at home. So say, for instance, you're eating junk food at home. You're still going to spend an average of, I don't care how you look at it, for even just your junk food or whatever. Even if you're getting the $2 frozen meals or whatever, you're getting the $2 frozen meals. You might run through a thing of soda every day. You got to get your sweets, your Little Debbie's, and your ice cream and all this type of stuff or whatever. So at the end of the day, you're still spending about an average of probably at least $7 a day. Even if you're cooking all your food at home, you're still spending $7 a day. And you can eat, if you master eating properly, if you learn the human body and how it operates and functions, you can eat for $7 a day, totally healthy. I almost want to say you can even eat organic. You can eat organic for $7 a day. Why? Because I've done it and I know. Now here's the secret. When you start eating healthy, your body's going to retain the nutrients in the food. Your body's going to retain the nutrients in the food. So you're not going to be as hungry. So when you think that you're hungry right now, many people that eat, 2 and 3 meals a day and you're always hungry, it's because your body's eating for an addiction. Your body's craving most of the time it's processed sugar. Your body's craving a taste for something. So this is why you constantly are eating. And then on top of it, the food you're eating it lacks nutrients. So when you eat it, your body's not retaining any nutrients. So you're always hungry because you got to constantly keep putting food in there because you're eating food that is not rich in nutrients. Junk food is not rich in nutrients. Genetically modified foods are not rich in nutrients. So this is why you constantly stay hungry. Even when you start talking about eating meat, You know how long that meat sits on the shelf before you actually get it off the shelf? It can sit on the shelf up to 3 months after the actual animal is slaughtered. Why do you think they clone the animals and things of that nature? Because they want to keep the shelf life longer. So after that actual cow is slaughtered, believe it or not, it can sit on the shelf for up to 3 weeks. 3 months, I'm sorry, 3 months before you even take it home. Now, I know they might have the thing where it says on the little package, it spoils by this date, but keep in mind, they put preservatives and certain things inside of those meats and things of that nature to keep the shelf life longer or whatever, but when they put those things inside of the meats, it takes away from the nutrients and this protein that you think you're getting. Your body can't really metabolize that type of protein. And then on top of that, a true meat eater or a true carnivore, and you can see this in nature, will eat the whole thing. They'll eat the whole animal. Just like a snake that eats animals, or like a snake that eats rats. It doesn't chop off the head of the rat and just eat, and chop off the tail and just eat the body. It eats the whole damn rat. Because this is what true carnivores do. And on top of that, they don't cook it. True carnivores eat it raw, with the blood still in it. I know you're like, this is disgusting. That's because you're a domesticated meat eater. You don't eat meat the way that you don't eat meat the way that it should be consumed, the way a true meat eater, a true carnivore eats it in nature. When lions hunt gazelles, they eat the whole gazelle. They don't take parts of it. And this is something that really people need to get into their head when you start dealing with diet or whatever. So I'm saying all that to say, when you eat the whole thing, you get actually the lion is getting all the nutrients from the animal. The lion is getting all the nutrients from the animal when it eats the gazelle or whatever animal it's hunting to eat. The snake is getting all the nutrients from the rat. But when you start to cook the meat, it's sitting on the shelf all along. You basically missing a lot of the nutrients from even eating the meat. And then on top of it, the carcass is not even good for you anyway, on top of that. But even past all of that, even if you were a true meat eater, you would eat it, the whole thing. You eat the whole thing. If you're talking about you're a true meat eater. If you're not eating the whole thing, then you're not a true meat eater. If it's sitting on the shelf for months, it's lacking the nutrients and it's causing you to get diseases. So then that goes to the next level. Why can't I afford to eat healthy? Because you're spending all of this money to so-called doctors. And let me point that out, to so-called doctors. Now, I call them so-called doctors because of this. I'm not knocking, you know what I'm saying, they went to school for all this time. I'm just teaching you the facts. If you look up the term doctor in the dictionary, it goes back to a word, I believe it's docere, a Latin word. And docere means teacher. See, a true doctor is one who teaches its patients, so-called patients, or its students, about a certain topic. So a true doctor would teach you about your body so that you won't be dependent on him or her, and so that you would know about your human body so that you could take care of yourself on your own. These are administrators. See, in school, they teach you to be an administrator. So most doctors are administrators, meaning that they administrate medicine. They give out medicine, they write prescriptions, and they sign off on them. Sophisticated drug dealers. So this is what your modern day doctors are that you guys spend all this money on. You're going there to basically get drugs, because at the end of the day, they're not going to tell you the foods that you could eat so that you could heal yourself. So you're going to spend all this money on drugs that you don't need. A massage therapist can heal you of a lot of things that a doctor that will give you drugs could only dream of healing you of. An herbalist can heal you from a lot of things that a doctor could only dream of healing you of based on medicine. So you're spending a lot, but then you're spending 10 times the amount. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do yoga. You don't want to go get massages. You don't want to do those things because you're saying you can't afford them, but then check out your lifestyle. See, that's what I'm pointing out in this video. You say you can't afford to eat healthy, but you're driving in a car every day burning up oil and gas, right? How much money are you spending? $3.50 a gallon, right? You're spending $3.50 a gallon on gas. Lord knows how much you spend. Say you're spending $50 a week on gas when you could go get you a bus pass, riding around on a bus that's probably electrically powered. It's a hybrid, because most of the buses are electrically powered means of transportation now. They've got rid of most of the buses and public transportation that aren't fueled, that are fueled by oil. See, public transportation has already gotten out of that. But most people can't afford to get cars. Now, if you have a car that's not running off of oil, then I'm proud of you. Seriously, I'm proud of you. If you have a car that's totally electrical, I'm definitely proud of you. I mean, some people do have them. So I'm not saying they don't. But those of you, I'm talking about those of you that are burning up the atmosphere using oil and things of that nature and paying top buck to do it. Spending $200 and $300 a month just on that. So you got $7 a day for your groceries. That's like $300 a month. This is just for one individual to eat. That's $300 a month. Then you spend another $300 a month to burn up gas and things of this nature. That's $600 a month. Then you're probably spending like another $100 a month on Medicare and things of this nature that's getting taken out your check so you can afford to get your prescription drugs and things of this nature. So that's already $800 a month. It doesn't cost you that much to eat organic foods, and you could eliminate all of the things I just said. All of the above will be eliminated if you were eating healthy, because you could then get you a bike. You would be healthy enough to get you a bike to ride your bike to work. And I know it might sound crazy and it might take more time, but so what? Because it's helping you on so many levels. For one thing, you're going to be in shape. You know what I'm saying? And then you might be like, well, if I ride a bike to work, I can't go pick up my children from daycare and all these other things. You wouldn't have to pick up your children from daycare even for the men or women. For men, you wouldn't have to pick up your children from daycare if you were to build productive families with the opposite sex, and you would run your families right. You would have family members be able to take care of your children and things of this nature. You wouldn't have to even pay money out to daycare, so that would save you more money, because you would be running families right and get into the science and the art of family. So that would eliminate more expenses, daycare fees, and all this type of stuff. So these are the things I'm trying to get you to see. Your lifestyle is the reason why you can't afford to eat healthy. Start to look at what you're spending money on that can go. And don't tell yourself you can't do away with it. You have to be a creator. See, when you start meditating and you work with the second chakra, which is the chakra that most people abuse because they have too much sex. Every time you have sex, you're tapping into the second chakra, which is your creative energy. So you have to learn how to use that sexual energy to be creative. Stop having so much sex and learn how to create based off that sexual energy. That's your creative energy, your chi that you're losing through sex. So it's just like you have to be holistic, man. I mean, I know it's like a lot of things I'm bringing up that are separate from diet, but it's like it all works together, because if you start eating properly, you might not see it now, but if you start eating properly, everything else will just kind of like work itself out for you. You'll have more energy. You know what I'm saying? You'll be thinking more sharper and more clearer. So you'll be able to afford certain things. You'll start to learn that you can do without certain things, because you won't feel emotional based off these animals that you're eating. You're eating the emotions of these animals before they're killed, so it's making you emotional on a lower level, making you feel like you can't go without certain things or whatever. It's making you dependent. So it's just like a lot. It's like what you need to do is like change your mentality. You need to change your mentality, and to be able to afford to eat healthy, you have to eliminate certain things in your life. Many people are spending money on drugs, cigarettes, and stuff like that because they're stressed, but then they're saying they can't eat healthy. But how much money do you spend on cigarettes? Some people are smoking a pack a day. That's $5 a day. That's $40-some a week. It's $160 a month. How much money are you spending on your cell phone? Think about all of this. Maybe you have to go without a cell phone. If it comes down to you eating healthy, maybe you have to go without a cell phone. Or maybe you get you a cell phone that's prepaid, that doesn't cost you a lot of money, and you just put minutes on it, and you only use it for emergency purposes until you get home, and get you a landline at home. They got Magic Jack, you know what I'm saying? And Magic Jack don't cost a lot of money. It's like $50 a year or something. So you could be using your Magic Jack at home, and you could eliminate all of those communication fees that you're incurring with your iPhones. You got your internet plans, and people are getting online through their phones. And I know it's technology, and people want to do this stuff or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you want to make the shift, you're going to have to be able to afford to eat healthy, so you're going to have to eliminate some of those things. Because once the shift goes down, you might not have an iPhone to talk on, because what if the satellites go out? I mean, you have to think about all of that. So it's like you might as well get prepared now by start living like that now. Get prepared now. Be able to afford to eat healthy. Be able to afford to do certain things by eliminating other things that you're doing that are unnecessary. Most of the things that you do, if you really think about it, are unnecessary expenses. You don't need cable TV. Just have the internet. You don't need cable TV, so eliminate the cable TV. That's another bill people spend money on. All that money could be going towards your diet. So we cover medical. We cover entertainment, cable television. I haven't even counted going out to the movies and all that type of stuff. I haven't even counted that. I'm talking about just basic stuff. Driving around in a vehicle, burning up oil that's expensive. All these things that you could go without. So these are the things that you need to do if you want to be able to afford to eat healthy, and you want to be able to afford to get within yourself and start getting massages, start getting either getting astrological readings and things of this nature, so you can learn more about yourself and learn how to work with your own energy. These things are going to help you. Start learning how to meditate, using your breath to heal yourself so you won't need to go to the hospital as much. You can heal yourself even through your breath. Getting into crystals that only cost a little bit of money that can repair certain chakras for you so that you can live an optimal life. So the reason why you can't afford certain things is because of your lifestyle. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. It's your lifestyle. If you get back to nature, you'll be able to afford things. You'll be able to do the things that you want to do by being able to go without. You'll be able to eat the foods that you want to eat by being able to go without. You have to go without those things. You have to be able to go without the cigarettes and things of this nature, so that you can do the things you really want to do, which is eating healthy. If that's what you really want to do. That's the question. Do you really want to eat healthy? Then you have to ask yourself that. So if you're serious about it, it's affordable. Because you're affording everything else, so you can afford this. Some people are getting food stamps and aren't eating healthy. You only have to pay for that. The government's give you this money. You're taking government money and getting junk food with it. You really should be ashamed of yourself if you're doing that. If you're getting food stamps, all the things I just said don't even count. Those of you out there that are getting food stamps. So even if you're not getting food stamps, that means you probably have a job and you're working, which means you can afford something, which means you need to work with your budget and put yourself on a healthy budget so that you can learn how to get the things that you really want, which is the foods that you really want and need, and go without those things that you don't need, like cigarettes and alcohol and things of this nature. You don't need those things. If you start eating healthy, you won't be stressed out. If you start meditating, you won't need drugs, and you won't be stressed out as much. You might still deal with stress, but as much. And you don't learn how to cope with it based off your diet. So that's how you can eat healthy. That's how you can afford to eat healthy. I hope this video helps, and I'll leave you in peace.